Welcome to Morhamms357, where intelligence comes to perish. Hey there, I'm the same guy who was said in the title, except without the numbers, because you can have the same name as someone. Now, let me answer a question. No, this isn't a storytime animation channel. Not at all. If anything, I actually have a lot of gripes I would want to talk about. Maybe we should make a video on them later. But that's not the point of this video. Remember the last time that you saw me like this? And remember what I said before? Anyway, I'll also make some videos in this style. Yeah, that. So yeah, I'm just gonna give some opinions, some reviews, some random stuff, and other things in these videos. But, I'm just gonna make this one to start off. It's an easy topic. Get to know more about how I make these, and whatever. It's also probably gonna be short too. Maybe like 5 minutes or less. Editor me, feel free to call me an idiot, or be amazed on my cunning genius. Another thing that really grinds my gears was the Schrodinger's cat science experiment. Schrodinger was an idiot. Do not care. He was an idiot. I don't care about his own equation that he made that was named after him, or the quantum theories that he came up with. He was mentally stupid. If you don't know, he thought if you put a cat, or whatever living thing, in a box, and a 50-50 poison in a box that had a 50% chance of killing it and a 50% chance of letting it live, instead of just admitting that he doesn't know whether the cat is dead or not, he decided to get egotistical and say, "Oh, the cat is in the barrier between life and death." Come on, you have to be an idiot to not understand what a binary is. Oh, you probably don't know what a binary is, but you probably just don't know the name of it. It's called 0 and 1, yes or no, this and that. It's binary. He doesn't understand binary. He's an idiot. Why do people follow this absolute moron science experiments and everything if he does not know what a Boolean is? Another name for binary. You know what's awful? Your friends being online at inconvenient times. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I sound pretty dumb and nitpicky. But at least for me, it is a real pain. Here's an example. I'm super bored and I wanna, watch Shark Tale and immediately bleach my eyes out with a friend. It just so happens it's 5 p.m. and apparently it's the perfect time to sleep. Okay, that's just a social situation. But guess what? Let's assume I need to make a video that has a moral, write a book too, and make sure I do it outside of school hours, and the teacher was also super unclear about it, but it's also a group project, and because we didn't have a good place to rendezvous, we couldn't make a video, so we had to make an animation, but also script and voice act, and also rewrite it into a book, and make drawings for the book, and make hideous art and craft projects just to make it because I wanted to get extra marks by making a real hardcover book in a week? I'm just saying, nothing specific. Now wait, it just so happens 1/3 of your team just so happens to be offline every single time our scheduled work starts? Wow, that really sucks. I'm so thankful that never happened. Things I like? It's not that I'm bitter. Well, I am, but I don't know, they're pretty standard. I like drawing. No way! Playing video games. No way! Writing. No way! Yeah. Well, I could say a bunch of things, but I wouldn't be able to explain much of them past I like this. So, next. Why do people love Animal Crossing so much? Am I just out of the loop or something? I think it's supposed to be like an escape from life and stuff, and how hard it is. But if anything, when I start playing, I become just either bored or sad. I'm either paying debts or doing household chores. I don't know. It's not like I'm enraged, I'm just so angrily confused about how this phenomenon even happens. It's just kind of boring to me, and it's more of just curiousness than enraged confusing. You know? It's hard to explain. But whatever, I don't really like Animal Crossing, and I don't know why people do. Why are people purists when it comes to video games? If you know me, I don't care about if games are old or not. I'll play them, and since new games are expensive, I end up trying a lot of old ones for low risk. As you can tell, I play them mainly on my PC, but some absolute nut jobs think that playing them on the original systems is the way to go. Why? Who in their right mind does this? These old consoles can be super expensive. Do you really want to shell out 3,000 big ones to play Popeye? That you can download for free? That was also not good? I get it, it's not legally white, but at the same time, are you really gonna get arrested for emulating a game on your PC? Anyway, for example, let's use Sonic 2. The design of the levels are really nice. The OST is a banger, the graphics are good, no saves and limited Hold on. No saves and limited continues? Who actually plays like this? People won't dare to admit this, but Sonic 2 is hard. The only people who would say it's not and are telling the truth are Sonic fans. Sonic fans. Sonic fans. Of course, you'll die a lot, but why is that bad? Everyone loves a good nutcracker every once in a while, and even then, it's not as hard as those types of games. But there's one distinction. There's usually no lives. Look at Crash. His new entry doesn't even use lives, and even then, the games that I do own bombard you with extra bandicoots to play with, and even if you lose all of them, it just boots you to the start of the level with no checkpoints. Most games don't even have lives, retries, or anything. They just kind of restart, but not Sonic. Dear God, not Sonic. In Sonic's 1 and 2, when you lose your extra men, you're done. You see that game over text? It's not joking. Your game is done. Your progress is erased. It boots you back all the way to numero uno. Start again, you moron. Playing on PC gives you one major advantage. Save states. Save states are really incredible tech. It saves the exact point you were in. Your rings stay the same, time, even animations down to the frame that you saved. Nothing at all is lost. So of course, just save state at the start of every level and just load when you game over. And of course, you can cheat, but it's self-imposed to not cheat. Of course. As I said earlier, Sonic is hard, but it's nothing painful to go through. Don't go through. But people, for some reason, don't play like this. And I just don't know why. Even the Morian Legally Grey excuse doesn't work. Cause... Mega Drive Mini, or Genesis Mini, as a lot of people call it. Whatever you want to call it. Small game box. That's what it is. So this is for all the people who say, oh, emulation isn't legal or anything, ooh. Like, even though it really doesn't matter. You play a lot, plays a bunch of games, legally fine. Yeah, it's not like one of those crappy game systems. It's like the real thing. It's like the real thing. The emulation is pretty good. Yeah, it's not like one of those garbage game systems. It has save states and all that, so it's also not expensive. So it's not like buying like an actual system. So yeah, if you're one of those people who thinks it's morally wrong to buy, to use emulators, use this thing. It's really good. Alright then, enough of that. I hope you enjoyed that. It was just a sample for the content I'll make. It was really just an easy idea for a video. Later, it'll be stuff like criticisms against other YouTube channels. Maybe I'll even bring back that idea of like game reviewing and stuff, since, you know, I talked about it a lot here. But there's no guarantee, I'm still thinking about it. Anyway, I'm gonna be honest, this video is probably late due. I wouldn't be surprised if this video comes out in May or something rather than February. Hell, it will probably come later. I'm recording this mid-May. Guess you gotta wait. Anyway, this is Morhamms signing out. See you next couple months.